Hi guys, so I am here to get Landon out of his Canada Day outfit. I'm gonna be getting the 3 babies out of their Canada Day outfits today so I can get those put away. So I'm gonna put Landon in this outfit from Carter's. It's denim overalls and a turquoise and white shirt. And it says, "Mom thinks I'm one dynamite dude." And there's little dinosaurs on it. So I thought that would be cute on him. And while I'm changing him, I want to answer a question, or maybe it's a tag that was going around. I don't remember. But Katie had written it in a comment on one of my videos that she would be curious to know my answer, and I wish I had have wrote down exactly what she said, and I can't even remember now what video she posted it on so I could go back and reread it. But I think the general idea of it was she was wondering how I deal with baby fever, how how do I decide, or do I decide on a perfect number of babies in my collection. I believe that was most of what she was asking, so I'm going to talk about that. So one thing I want to say in regards to having that perfect number. Every collector's number is different because everyone's situation is different depending on space or money. You know, these are things that can further your collection or limit your collection. But also, you know, even if you have the space and the money, some people just prefer to have a smaller collection of 1 to 2 babies that they can focus their attention on, and that's fine. Like, whatever makes you happy and comfortable in this hobby is what you should do. Just be you, do what you like. There's no right or wrong really in this hobby, in my opinion. But I will say this, I find that I really don't actively seek out reborns to buy. Probably for my first reborn, I was actively seeking it out because I knew I wanted to get a reborn. But after that, other than custom orders that I've had, any other babies that I've purchased already made, I didn't actively search them out. I honestly am not the type, I do not go on eBay and look, you know, just randomly just look around eBay and peruse eBay and see what there is. I don't actively visit the reborn dolls for sale section on Dollfan. I don't actively go to groups on Facebook or that are selling reborns, or Etsy shops. I do not. I pretty much have never, other than buying my first reborn, I've never actively searched for reborns. I know it sounds weird. I feel like the babies that I have in my collection now just came to me. Honestly, guys, that may sound crazy, but let me see. Let me go through them. Okay, so when I used to have Avery, she was the first reborn that I bought off of eBay. And like I said, I actively searched out a reborn. I browsed eBay. I picked one that drew my attention, and I purchased her. And then I really liked the Evelina kit. I mean, the Estelle kit by Evelina Wozniak when that was coming out. So I ordered that kit and decided to reborn it myself. So those two I consider like I had actively searched those out. Now, other babies up until that point, they just kind of happened. I guess, you know, in terms of reborns, because when I used to have before I got reborns, I had the Ashton Drake dolls, and I actively, obviously, searched those out. Like, I looked at the Ashton Drake forum or website and stuff like that and ordered them. But when it comes to actual reborns, let's see, when I had Jamie, he just came to me. I was at a reborn meetup. His artist brought him to show, and he wasn't even really for sale. And I fell in love with him. I saw him, I fell in love with him. And when I went home, I could not stop thinking about him. And I went to his artist and asked if she'd be willing to sell him or if he was for sale or whatever. And that's how that came about. Who else? Now, okay, Maya and Zoe and Landon were all custom orders. So, but again, I wasn't actively looking for kits. What tends to happen with me is I have a lot of artists on my friend list on Facebook. And so what generally happens is sometimes it'll come across my news feed that they have a new kit coming out, or in the case of a reborn artist, they might post a link to their latest finished doll that's on eBay or things like that. And a lot of times I just kind of scroll on past those if I'm not really looking for a baby in particular. But sometimes I will just be scrolling along and I'll see a baby jump out at me and I'll be like, oh, look at that. Like, that's how it happened with Savannah. I was like, oh my gosh, at that point I loved the Coco Malou sculpt. I had seen her a few times at doll shows and stuff, and I loved that sculpt, but I was looking for that one that really stood out to me in terms of how it was reborn and rooted and painted and all that. And when I saw this one flash up on my Facebook feed, and it was a reborn artist that was selling her, but she was not the reborn artist of this doll. She was also a collector, so she was selling off some of her collection. And I saw Savannah, I was like, I have to have her. I have to have her. And so I did what I could. Same with Haley. I have, ever since I got Savannah, I added Sheila Rand on Facebook, so I get to see what she's working on. And as soon as she posted the auction for her Serenity, it was instant love. I loved that baby. I had to have that baby. I did whatever I could to get that baby, and I did. And then same with Landon. Like, when Laura Tuzio Ross announced the Harlow kit on her page, and she posted the original sculpt before even the kits were produced, I saw all boy, and I've been wanting an open-eyed boy, and I was just waiting for that open-eyed boy to called me, and I wasn't finding many open-eyed kits that I could see being a boy or were already a boy or whatever. And I know the Harlow kit's supposed to be a girl, but when she posted that sculpt, I saw all boy, and it was instant. I was like, I love it. I gotta get that kit. And then it was just a matter of finding a reborn artist that I liked to do him for me. It was the same thing with Yuki. You know, I fell in love with her when my friend Emily got her, and I had planned to have Susan make one for me as well. But then it just so happened, all of a sudden, my friend wanted to put her up for adoption, and knowing how much I loved her, she offered her to me first, and of course I said yes. So I just feel like babies I just let it come. I don't actively seek them out. I will just suddenly see one pop up on my Facebook feed, whether it be an announcement of a kit that I absolutely fall head over heels with the kit, or an already completed baby that I see the picture and I can't stop thinking about it. Once I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't stop thinking about this baby. That must mean something. And I gotta have it. And then I just figured a way to make that happen. And so, you know, like, same with Kate Charles. Like, I saw her work at the doll show. I loved her work. But I did not want a sleeping baby, which is all she had at the show that year. And so, again, when I saw Maya's kit released, and one of the prototypes was done as an African American baby, I was like, yes, I see that in this kit, and I wanted Kate to make her for me. So again, it was just, I saw the kit, I fell in love, I was like, this is the one that I want. I wanted one of Kate's, like, I wanted to own one of Kate's babies, so I was like, yes, I'm gonna get this kit and get it done from her. Same with Zoe. I saw Kate do another pixie just like my Zoe. That was the first one that I saw, and I actually didn't, like I said, I've said it before, I didn't like that kit until I saw Kate's version, and I tried my best to win that auction. I tried my best. I was down to the last second bidding, like in a bidding war, and then I lost. And I was so upset, and I was like, darn it. So I did my best to find a pixie kit, which was hard because she was sold out at the time, but I found a supplier that happened to have a customer back out of her pre-order, and I got the kit. And then I said, Kate, please, can you make this kit for me the way that you did the other one that just sold on eBay? Because I said, I love how it looks like a little, you know, East Indian baby, I think, if I'm right. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. My brain's not really working that well right now. And I loved her version of that kit, and so that's, you know, I seeked it out. That's what I wanted. But again, I still feel like it was just something that I stumbled upon. Like, you know, I have lots of artists, like I said, on my Facebook page, so I don't always see the stuff they post, because you know how the news feed is on Facebook, guys. Like, if you're not on it like all day long, you're gonna miss stuff that people post. It won't, you know, be up on the news feed when you log in. So I just feel like it happens to be luck that at the time that I log on to Facebook, all of a sudden, boom, there's a new kit that's posted that draws my eye. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to have this kit. And then I decide, you know, on an artist. Or same with like a Reborn artist, I'll like see their version of a kit posted for sale, and I fall in love. Or, you know, sometimes it's people that are selling their collection, like what happened with Savannah, and I just happen to see it. So I don't feel like I ever actively seek out Reborns. I just happen to stumble upon ones that I absolutely fall in love with and have to have. So I would say, you know, and it's happened like that. Even Ava happened like that. It just so happened that Susan was selling some of her collection. She posted it on her Facebook page, and it happened to be a sculpt that I had been wanting for a while. And I was like, it's perfect, the price is right, and I got it. So that's basically how I feel about, in terms of searching for Reborns. I just seem to stumble upon the ones that I absolutely love. Jeremy as well. Like, I went to the doll show with my mom, and I honestly had no intention of buying a doll because the trip was expensive enough. I was paying for both my mom and I, so it was a very expensive trip to begin with, and the safari tour was expensive, so I had no plans whatsoever to buy a Reborn doll. But I saw Jeremy, and I saw him on the first day, and I loved him. I took his picture, and that night when we were in our room, I kept looking at it and looking at it, and I could not stop thinking about him. And so I went back the next day, and I remember when I saw someone else looking at him that my heart sunk, and I was like, no, they're gonna buy him. And then when they walked away, I was like, that's it, I have to get him. So it just happens that way. Now, in terms of dealing with baby fever, okay, so I would say, since I don't seem to actively seek out babies even when I have baby fever, I guess my way of dealing with baby fever is to go shopping for clothes. Although, you know, I'm slowly running out of space for clothes, but somehow I make it work because I do get rid of old things to make room for new things. But that's basically how I deal with the baby fever, is I have to go shopping. I have to go shopping for new outfits. That's how I deal with that. And then in terms of having a perfect number, I honestly don't think I can say I have a perfect number. Right now I have 10 reborns, and to me, I think that's a really nice number. I used to be up to 12, I think, or maybe it was 11 reborns, and then my Real Care 2 I included in there as 12, even though she's not a reborn. So basically, if you want to include my Real Care 2, I'm up to 11. So I'm almost back up to my 12. Yeah, I don't know. There has been so many times when I had lower numbers, like when I had 4 babies, I said, I think I'm done. Then I got up to 6, and I said, oh, I think I'm done. Because I tend to like even numbers. I'll say that. I don't know. It's just a thing. And then but the thing is that, like, there's always new kits coming out. There's always new, I mean, it's so hard to say, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to stop. I think the only thing that would probably stop me is money and space. You know, if I can't figure out, like, even if I see a baby that I absolutely fall in love with, if I can't figure out where I'm going to put that baby, then it's not coming home unless I can sell a baby in my collection, which right now, I love every single baby in my collection, and I can't see me selling anybody at this point in time. I really, really can't. So, here, Landon, look at your auntie and uncles. Your aunties and uncles. I don't know if you guys can see them very well. There you go. So I really can't say a number. I do sometimes feel like if I had a smaller collection, I might be able to enjoy it better, because I would have less babies to change and interact with. So I feel like I might interact with them a little bit more than I do now. But at the same time, I really love to have an assortment of babies. So, you know, whatever my mood pulls me to that day, I have a baby, like, for all occasions. I guess you could say a diverse collection to choose from. Like, okay, if today I want to do this with this baby, and I just go and I'm drawn to, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but there's certain babies that you're drawn to on certain days, and then other days you're drawn to other ones in your collection. And I kind of like having that, so that I have a larger selection to pick from. But I also, like I said, I sometimes feel like maybe a smaller number would be nice, but I just don't see how I can get to a smaller number, because like I said, I love every single baby in my collection right now, and I can't imagine selling anyone right now. I'm very happy with every single baby. So I don't know. And then, you know, these aren't the only dolls in my collection. So yes, I have 10 reborns, but I have my Real Care 2. I have my BB dolls, the soft sculpt ones. I have my American Girl dolls, which I'm still wanting more American Girl dolls, and I don't know where I'm going to fit them, but I don't know. They're there in my mind. There's a lot of them that I keep thinking about. And there's my childhood dolls that I have up on display with my baby dolls. So I have a lot of dolls. Probably if I counted them all, I've got to have at least, okay, well, these are 10. Haley's 11. I have 4 American Girls, so that's 12, 13, 14, that's 15. Plus Punky Brewster is 16. Then we have 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 BB dolls. And my childhood dolls, 21, 20. I have like 22 dolls here in my home. That's all different types of dolls. So I really can't say a number. I guess for me, as long as I'm content with my collection, I won't want to add to it. But like I said, if I happen to stumble upon a certain baby that catches my eye, if I have the space and the money, they're coming home. I don't know if this has been a helpful answer to your question, because I really don't put huge restrictions on my collection, I guess. There's been many times in the past where I said, that's it, I'm done, no more. And then all of a sudden, you know, a month or two later, there's this baby that comes swooping across my computer screen, and I'm like, oh, I love her, or I love him, and I have to bring him home. So, so yeah, guys, I really don't know. My whole thing is, I've really learned never say never. Never say I'm never going to sell this baby. Never say I'm never going to buy any more babies. Never say I'm never going to buy more baby clothes. Never say never, because honestly, it's part of the hobby. Sometimes you get tired of dolls in your collection and you want to sell them for a new face, or you have no choice but to sell to buy because you don't have the money or the space. Or if you do have the money and space, then you just keep on adding away. If you can do it, all the more power. As long as, I feel like, as long as it doesn't get to a point where you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed by the size of your collection or by the amount of money, as long as it still brings you joy and makes you happy and you enjoy it, that's what matters, in my opinion. So I don't feel like I could ever say this is my perfect number. I think it's just boils down to space, which I'm running out of. Let me tell you, I am running out of it. I mean, I know I could fit more babies in the bassinet in the bedroom, but I kind of wanted to get at least down to a number where I could just rotate the babies that are in the bassinet, because I just thought it didn't look realistic having like 2 or 3 babies in the bassinet. So I just kind of like to have one in there. But I mean, I guess if I really fell in love with a baby and I needed a space, they could, you know, join Haley or whoever in the bassinet. But I feel like I really would not like to have to do that if I can help it. So it's really a matter, for me, it's a matter of space, and it's a matter of money, because, you know, we have things that we have to save for as well. So, you know, but I don't know about a number. I really don't think about that. And like I said, I don't go and actively seek out reborns. I do kind of find, though, that sometimes if I've been around a real baby, whether it be at work or a friend has a baby or a relative has a baby, I find I get the baby fever more around those times, and then I have to go shopping. I have to go buy baby clothes, or I have to do some organizing in the nursery and do some nesting, or I may be a little bit more, not actively looking for a baby to buy, but I might be more observant of what comes up on Facebook in terms of reborns, whereas other times I might just like not even really take a good look. I might just scroll on past, but a lot of times if I'm really in big time baby fever mode, I will pay a little bit more attention to what comes across my screen on the computer. And you know, a lot of times I'll be like, oh, that's a really cute baby, really nice, but it doesn't pull me in enough to want to buy it. And other times it has. I really fell for Jamie around the time that the family I was working for was getting ready for baby number 2, and it was shortly after baby number 2 was born that I really kept thinking about Jamie, because I had met him already at that point. And that was when I went and asked his artist if I could adopt him. And so I think that really tied in with that, because at work I was seeing her nesting for the baby, and I was, you know, helping with laundry and putting away baby blankets and baby outfits. And so having Jamie, who was such a really like brand new, like newborn size and coloring, he just kind of like helped with that baby fever at that time. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't want to go on forever. And so I don't know if that helped, Katie. I don't know if that really answered your question. I hope it did. And here's Mr. Landon looking so darn cute. Ladies, gentlemen, when does he not ever look cute? Seriously, when does he never look cute? This kid can wear anything, and he looks fantastic in everything. Look at how perfectly this fits him. It's awesome. With his dynamite dude. You are a dynamite dude. Alright guys, well, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and give it a thumbs up if you did. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Wishing all of my Canadian viewers a happy Canada Day. And I did not get a chance to get all of the babies dressed for Canada Day. I also don't have enough Canada Day outfits for every single baby. I find Canada themed outfits are very hard to find, so I don't have too many of them. But I thought that I would at least do